Hello everybody, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and today, well, I've decided to cover this specific video. Boy. Alright, I need to retry the intro. We'll do this live. 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, it is me, Game Penguin 21, and today, yep, we're talking about Minecraft. Now, of course, one of, if not the biggest things that I've been trying to at least cover more recently is topics of broader descent and not topics that are very hip and to it and, very salt related. But I wanted to talk about actual videos and kind of broaden my commentary a bit more. I know that I've relied a lot on the whole salt commentary community support, so a bit of branching out might be necessary. We'll still talk about salt, but it won't be like main of a focus as it is today, as I do want to get more of those videos that just seem to have interesting talking points. This video being one of them. Now, this video has been passed around the actual scene of the Minecraft community and of the commentary community in general. The reason being is because it's kind of awful. For a number of reasons, Mr. Sipover here, as he has been called out, or as he calls himself on the YouTubes, basically decided to make a video on apparently why older Minecraft is much better than the current version of modern Minecraft. Now, as some people may or may not tell you, there are many reasons to like and dislike modern Minecraft, and there is at least one legitimate criticism in this, which I will get to at the end-ish of the video, because he does actually cover it at the end of his video, but we're not going to get to that far because the biggest thing is that this video is over 16 minutes long. Just over, by the way, so don't think this is like a 20-minute video for him. But I'm going to be skipping around for it, and again, I'm probably not going to get through this whole video because I don't want my video to be too long when I post my response to this. I'm going to be covering his main points, however, and I'm going to be including a bunch of the context into it, but I will also include a link to the description of this video, just so that way people can get the full context if they really want to see Mr. Sipover's video. With all that being said, of course, I have to do the quick little shill bit because we know that it works. Links down to everything in the description below. Please sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe if you like my content. And without further ado, let's get into apparently why old Minecraft is much better. I'm going to be skipping past about the first minute and 40 seconds, though, because it's really just him setting up the actual section of the videos and who's going to be in it with a bunch of actual Minecraft YouTubers who've been there for a while, as well as he's just now starting out with the original 2009 classic release of Minecraft. With that being said, again, just wanted to put context there.
Is the oldest Minecraft build featured in the game's first ever YouTube video by Dwop, and while many of you are probably saying it looks like trash, I think it perfectly captures what modern day Minecraft is missing. You see, old Minecraft was the definition of a sandbox game because it promoted complete creative freedom. While the game's classic version is the most extreme example of this, even beta Minecraft had little guidance and no preset goals. This forced you as the player to play the game in your own way, make your own goals, and solve problems in your own way.
This actually still accounts for the majority of what Minecraft is. And again, you can tackle the problems however you want. We'll get into this a bit more later, but again, for those of you who haven't played Minecraft, which, first of all, let me welcome you out from under that rock of which you have just crawled your ass out of, but modern Minecraft does have a lot more of that creative freedom. In fact, I would say that it has a more creative freedom because of things such as block palettes and stuff like that. Yes, there's an evolution, and he's going to get into a fair amount of it, but just because there is more diverse things to do in the game doesn't mean that there's actually bad things in the game. Again, in modern Minecraft, there is still no real goals, such the goals that you set for yourself. You want to go out and beat the Ender Dragon? Go out and beat the Ender Dragon. You want to go out and form an entire economy or something? Go out and do that. And the best modern explanation as to why this game still has a ton of creative freedom completely is if you've ever followed a person by the name of Luke the Notable, and his Minecraft Hardcore series is one that I personally subscribe to, and he's a great person. He's about to hit, I believe, 5,000 days on his Hardcore Minecraft Survival series. and with no sign of seemingly to stop. And there's a ton of spin-offs that he has on his channel of him doing 100 days challenges, and all of them is in vanilla Minecraft, by the way, and vanilla modern Minecraft. All of those types of days and things that he does throughout the whole of his videos is all done with goals that he sets out for himself. So, you know.
While it is still definitely a sandbox, modern day Minecraft has an advancements page for you to follow, certain steps you need to do to beat the game, millions of tutorials to guide you, and it feels like you never have to use your brain.
I like how he says that the entirety of the thing is you not having to use your brain. Unless you discount the fact of where you need to go to find this information in the first place, who gives actually reliable information, and a bunch of other factors. Not only that, I just wanted to also point out that the advancements page was at least added back in beta 1.8, if I remember correctly, or at least it was added back during that time. One of, if not the biggest things here is, well, I again bring up a modded Minecraft server that I think that I said earlier that I was on, but I still have it. I was told this was like dumb and regardless to do what I did, but essentially what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a mob farm, but that mob farm kept giving me items that I didn't want or items that I wanted to filter. So what I did was I literally looked up how to do a filter and how to stack them within a close confined area underneath the mob farm. Turns out what I did was laid me down a literal 3-day active usage of it, active like fixing of the problem, and not 3 days in game. No. 3 days of actual time in the real world. Essentially, it took me 3 days to figure it out because I completely and utterly did the redstone not wrong or incorrect, just that I had it still very strange, and it took me a while to do that, and I still got it wrong. Even though I had a tutorial. Didn't explain to me how the hoppers worked specifically because it just assumed that I knew that. But I learned and I figured out how to do it after looking it up in a couple other areas. Now, I didn't actually look up that second part of where hoppers would filter down the line in a specific order and that I had to put the filters where I wanted to in a specific place in order for that to, filter to the next one. I had to figure that shit out on my own. So, no, you would still have to use your brain even in Minecraft when you want to make something. Like, making something and putting something into practice through teaching is, like, completely different.
For instance, how will you solve this modern-day Minecraft problem of being chased by a horde of zombies?
I mean, again, sprinting was added, I believe, in the full release of the game, and you could always, like, walk faster than most of the zombies anyway, so.
Modern day Minecraft problem 2. You're running low on items.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
I mean, discounting the fact that that actually wasn't modern Minecraft, i.e., I don't think that this was like modern Minecraft when he actually made the video itself. While yes, you do and can trade with villagers in modern Minecraft, this actually does a huge disservice to your point, because not only do you have to then collect all of those emeralds through trading or through mining or through some other method, you don't actually just have that sort of setup to begin with. You would have to go out, you'd have to get the stone, you have to put that villager in that specific pot, surround him with the actual things, and then produce him to get him to master in order for you to sell him the actual items for you to do that. That is more mid to end the game type situations. Again, to even get a villager up to master, you probably would have to spend all of those 64 emeralds just to get him up to master, and even still, it might not end up getting him all the way there because of how the system works. So, no. You still have to actively make the infrastructure to get the ability to get all of those items in the first place. So, yeah.
Minecraft, you were forced to think creatively to solve these types of problems and to play the game, making it a true sandbox. In my opinion, creating something completely from your own imagination and seeing a vision come to life is much more rewarding and fun, which is why I think so many people were immediately attracted to this game.
And I believe that that still is mostly the case, and that sort of stuff still exists. Again, to use some of the thing, Luke the Notable basically completely and utterly flattened a huge chunk of area to build an entirely gigantic wall in order to, be within the wall of his game, and he did that all himself. He figured out how to do it. He figured out from the ground up how to build the actual game. And he did, the Ender Dragon fight, I think, around day 200, so that's a huge amount of distance away from where he currently stands. So, again, it's super strange to me how he says, oh, this is what drove people to modern Minecraft there. Even like it doesn't exist anymore. It does, which is the stupid part. Now I'm going to skip ahead 3 minutes because nothing really of importance happens, because he basically just does the Temple of Notch, and he explains that this was one of the first Minecraft maps and basically elaborates on what this sort of did for him, I guess. So again, it's not super important, but this next part I think is a little bit important.
I decided it'd be funny to surprise these OG YouTubers with upgraded Temple of Notch curse outcomes to something they wouldn't expect, and seeing their positive reactions made me realize something. You see, the Temple of Notch is a great reflection of how Beta 1.7.3 Minecraft felt at the time. As soon as you loaded into the map, you were welcomed with a new adventure, and as you continue through the temple, you're 100% immersed. It was simply you, the Notch statue, and your uncontrollable fate of being blessed or burned alive.
So what he said here was that it's actually not the original redstone or the original stuff that was in the actual Notch Temple, meaning that it's not the actual original experience. It might be in the same version as the original experience of the Notch statue, but for those of you who don't know, you basically did a sacrifice to Notch to be able to be either blessed or dumped into lava, as explained here. But again, here's my problem with that. One of, if not the biggest things, is that he basically just said that he added extra curses and extra boons in order to actively make it different from the original. These added boons and added benefits and drawbacks were actually received rather well by the people that he invited. So here's the thing. If the original Temple of Notch experience was still there and was still received positively, but what you had and added to the original Temple of Notch made the experience more interesting to the people that you brought on and more interesting to the people that you played with, why do you not see the correlation between that and current-day modern Minecraft is insane to me. Again, you literally took what another person did, essentially Minecraft, or you basically took the base experience of the Notch Temple and then just added stuff onto it to then make it an improved version or an improved version to you, to where you then beta tested it with other people and then they liked the changes that you made. How do you not see that in terms of modern day Minecraft? Like, this point alone basically ruins 90% of your argument, by the way, where if it wasn't actually, like, if people didn't question you or didn't say, hey, this is a dumb thing, why did you make these changes? If not one person said that, your argument kind of doesn't work here.
It's this sense of unknown adventure that old versions of the game, such as Beta 1.7.3, has that today's just doesn't. When I played that world I mentioned at the start of the video, the entire time I felt somewhat helpless and uncertain. Nowadays, if I load up a new Minecraft world, I'll have the next 3 years planned out ahead. I'll head straight to a village, take all their loot, get some easy diamonds from a mega cave, go to the nether for 20 minutes, then find the end portal to beat the game. There really isn't much uncertainty and therefore no adventure. But on the contrary, these old beta versions of Minecraft, everything is slower and more unexpected. You're forced to walk in this unguided and unforgiving world. There's no villages, no predictable cave generation, it's darker, more isolated, and finding what you're looking for is never.
Huh? So, wait. Beating the game in that context of everything that he just said, and I would probably have to speed that part up to get to this video. He said that it would probably take him 3 years. 3 years to do that. That sounds like a lot of content to get through. Like, what? So you just decide to lay out this entire thing and it's not an adventure? Like, that's still a plan, or even if it's not a plan that you have laid out, which I don't think it is in that context, it's more of like a vague goal statement. But that's not really the point of Minecraft in a lot of ways. In fact, the ending poem basically says, this isn't the end of the game, but please go outside. Plus, predictable cave generation is one of the reasons for some of the changes that they made to the caves. You are aware of this, right? Like how they added in mine shafts into the game in order to make them more interesting. How they added biomes to the caves to make the generation better. Why they added deep slate and the deep dark to actively make you want to go down and explore to get higher end gear and higher end loot and find these things in the unknown. This also is interesting because the next bit is something that I really wanted to highlight. So
easy. The definition of an adventure is an undertaking involving danger and unknown risks, and old Minecraft is exactly that for those reasons. In modern Minecraft, I know every threat I'll end up facing while playing, and I know exactly how to deal with those threats, which is just by flying, running away, or eating an enchanted golden apple. While the game being so carefree and predictable can support other aspects of the game, like building, how can Minecraft feel like an adventure if you know exactly what you're going to do and
I don't like that definition that he gives of adventure. The actual definition that he gives and the understanding that he presents is really only half the battle. His definition is even more half-baked than the definition that he just gives. See, an adventure is more about calculated risks. The calculated risks are the risks that you take when you know what dangers you might face. Unknown seems to be kind of the semantic argument here, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. But the thing with an adventure is that it usually inquires about you taking at least some amount of risk, but also preparing for those risks, if that makes any sense. That's like saying, if I were to say go and climb Mount Everest for whatever reason, then I could just go up there and do it because I know exactly what's up the mountain, and I know exactly where and when to do these things. It's still a dangerous mission with a lot of unknown risks. There could be an avalanche, there could be a weather problem, there could be very cold nights, I could pass out for whatever reason. Or in a more mundane adventure that you would have here is that there was a lot of unknowns when I was taking, say, my road test for my driver's license. There was always a risk of, say, crashing, running into things, failing the actual test, not being able to retake it for another year or something. Like, all of that was on the table, but I wouldn't call that an adventure. I would just call that taking a leap. And again, you're saying that as if you don't already know what's in Minecraft in the first place. Like, again, saying that you don't know what's plaguing an inside of old Minecraft is practically a lie, right? Because it's the same game, same base materials, same mechanics, just the modern version is kind of zhuzhed up a bit. I'm going to skip about 40 seconds as well, because then he's going to go on to talk about Skyblock.
Was one of the first big Minecraft YouTube trends, and despite it being created shortly after version 1.0, it's still widely played by YouTubers today in some form. While this seems like an irrelevant detail, its longevity shows there's clearly something special about Skyblock that reflects old Minecraft. Something deeper that even after all these years, players still long for. So we set out.
It's the challenge. The reason for Minecraft, the map being a big thing, is because it's a challenge. Just like how Minecraft Hardcore is a challenge. There's also an interesting like hardcore series that I found out that's actually ultra hardcore. That is, there is no regenerating health with everything being on hardcore mode. And that is a very interesting series because it spans over multiple different YouTubers. That's right, the YouTubers in question will build and survive on that world for however long that they want to, and then when they inevitably do die, they pass that world on to the next person, so that way they might be able to survive differently. Again, there is a lot of actual history with that, and it goes back at least 4 or 5 different YouTubers at this point. I just managed to find it. And again, the biggest thing and the biggest reason for why it's still so popular is because it's much like, say, the Hunger Games or Minecraft minigames or certain adventure maps. The players like these maps for the challenge of the survivals, if it's like Skyblock or something like that, or for the interesting combat mechanics or whatever else there is. If you're a content creator, it's for interesting content because of things like problem solving, mechanical understanding, and stuff like that. Oh, you might be wondering what's mechanical understanding. Well, I'm glad you asked. To give a very basic understanding of what a mechanical understanding is, the way that I have broken down game design is 3 distinct pillars. That is movement, speed, and mechanical understanding. Movement is very simple. It's how you move in the game versus how you move in real life. There's both a real life component and a gameplay component, so just know that. Your movement in real life affects that of the game and vice versa, and you make decisions based on that. Speed is basically your reflexes or what you can have to create faster movements and more efficiency that can also knock off time, and that usually also counts as speed. Mechanical understanding is basically the understanding of the mechanics or specific rule sets that you have within that game. Now, of course, all 3 of these interplay with each other with any sorts of interactive medium like video games, so I kept it very simple. To give like an example of high mechanical understanding, for something like, say, Dark Souls, that game requires a very high mechanical understanding. Similar to Minecraft, it might not seem like a high mechanical understanding is required at the start, but it exponentially grows with the ceiling of the mechanical understanding seeming to reach to the sky and only growing every single year, at least in terms of understanding. But all 3 are required for all types of games regardless, and you can specialize in them, such as speedrunners do when they maximize out their speed. Mechanical understanding also requires things such as critical thinking skills, which this video I don't think has a lot of so far. Now, I'm also going to be skipping past some of these points a bit and another minute or so into the video because, quite honestly, this is just about Skyblock, and we don't really need to talk about this.
Incredibly simple, and figuring out a way to make do and progress with just these blocks is what makes it great. Minecraft at the time, version 1.0, is the same way. For instance, look at how simple the creative menu was compared to now. There isn't what's called a choice overload bias, which is when you're presented with so many choices, choosing becomes unappealing. Instead, old Minecraft and Skyblock's simplicity of items and features makes it easy to get immersed and satisfied, especially when it comes to building.
Okay, while I agree, choice overload is a thing of which exists overall, the one thing is that I don't think it applies here as liberally as he's talking about. Again, taking up things such as color palettes and stuff and saying, oh, you need to know all these different tricks and stuff. Yet, I do also want to point out that earlier in the game, or earlier in this very video, he decided to point out how brainless Minecraft was. So, which is it? Is it either do you need to use your entirety of your brain in order to figure out how to build and how to beat the game and stuff, or do you not need to think and, still need to build, beat the game, and all that other stuff? You can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other.
With the simplicity of the features, block choices, and decoration of old Minecraft, you didn't have to know every damn strategy and color combo to make something that looks good, because no matter what, it fit in with a simple world and environment. Dialco made this point greatly in his own video on old Minecraft, where he compared the looks of 2 simple Minecraft houses. One in the overly realistic, complex modern-day environments, and one in the old environments. And the old one actually looks pretty good, while also being something anyone could make.
Where is he? One, give him. Okay.
They're the same picture.
Moving away from the building aspect of the game, the appeal of immersive simplicity is also outlined in game progression between old and new Minecraft. In the old version, you're fully immersed, focused on progressing and being able to survive the night, and everything you encounter either aids or challenges you from doing so. There's a purpose to everything. There's nothing unnecessary to distract you and break the immersion. On the contrary, today's version of the game has a million different biomes and structures for you to check out, random mobs which really don't contribute much to the game, and by the time the first day is over, you feel like you've seen so much, yet at the same time, feel like you've made such little progress.
But in some aspects, that just sounds like a skill issue. Like, to be very clear here, while yes, it might feel like you're not making progress, progress itself is progress. Everyone that plays Minecraft will always play it differently and engage with different mechanics. Like I said, Luke the Notable will engage in his crazy antics and will even change up the rule sets for a hardcore Minecraft world every so often, and we'll still find interesting projects to do. For example, again, in around 200 days, he beat the Ender Dragon. In around 300 days, he decided to get completely godlike armor. In his other days videos, he eventually started to go to places such as the Nether and other stuff like that. And again, he had a bunch of spin-offs in which he was playing on Minecraft Pocket Edition, on a Chromebook, inside of his phone, like in creative mode with cheats, etc. But overall, it doesn't make sense to complain about this because there's actually a very simple solution, which I'm going to propose now. Just mod the game. Simple as that. If you want to play the game and have interesting adventures and things to talk about and are just bored with regular Minecraft, go and mod the game. It's free, and at least on Java Edition, it's very easy to do so. Don't have the mine coins to spend on the mods on the Bedrock Edition? Sure. But again, it just sounds like you're tired of how Minecraft is currently played. So then just go out and play old Minecraft then. It's not that deep. Really, the only other option that I can give you is to just set Minecraft down and come back to it later if you want to play it more. It's just a video game, dude. No need to get all philosophical about it.
The more distractions, meaningless, and useless stimulation you're faced with, the less immersed in presence you'll end up feeling, just like in real life. I believe that to be why Skyblock is so popular even today, because everything you're given is so simple yet so necessary, and that captures perfectly what old Minecraft has that today's doesn't. Heading into 2013 to 2015, Minecraft would reach its peak in popularity, and this is the last time period I would consider old, or the golden days of Minecraft. Now, we've already talked about the simplicity, sense of adventure, and encouragement of creativity being what made this entire era so great, but we've yet to touch down on one major aspect which was extremely crucial to the game's success: Minecraft YouTube.
Travis? There you are, Travis! Buddy, I'm here!
Hello, this is Stumpy. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Pat.
One of my all-time...
So this will be the last thing that I talk about, as this video is already getting pretty long as is, and I'm going to have to edit this down a fair chunk, trying to get it down to at least a reasonable time frame. Look, while I understand and while I agree that one of, if not the biggest things that happened to Minecraft was YouTube, the growth of Minecraft itself probably would have died were it not for YouTube, and I'm not going to dissuade that. And it's been immeasurable in its popularity, even in the current resurgence, and the growth it had was amazing. Here's the thing, though. Back during this time, it was also a new game. It was getting new stuff, it was having all those other things happen to it, and there was things and creativity that wasn't seen before. And again, it was all new, and you were also very young. One of, if not the biggest reasons as to why I even got into Minecraft was because I remember watching Anders and his playthrough of Minecraft whenever I was going to bed and whenever I had access to YouTube. So yes, good marketing, free stuff is always going to be a big push for any game, and that's become more and more prominent even today with that. But this doesn't actually address the topic as to why he finds that Minecraft is boring. He just seems to have cobbled together a bunch of people to just say, hey, Minecraft is boring because I don't find it entertaining anymore to play this video game. That just seems to be his entire point, and the only point that I agree with, which I didn't actually get to cover in this, is that Minecraft has become more corporate, which he does inevitably say at one point or another. I'll probably put in a clip over the top of me talking about it, but he also goes on to explain a bunch of different things, but overall, I can't go past this point in the video because there's nothing else really to say that he doesn't add to the video itself, or at least it doesn't feel like that way to me. Look, the only part that I agree with is that, yes, Minecraft itself has become more corporate because of people like Microsoft and stuff like that, and while I agree that there are different spin-offs and different merchandise, and that can get a little bit overwhelming, the original game and core game is still there, and it's just hard to take it seriously sometimes. But here's the thing. And here's what I think is the main takeaway and my overall conclusion as to why you don't like Minecraft. You just grew out of it, got older, and experienced everything that you wanted from the game, and it's no longer fun. And because you have these dumb justifications that you made up in your head. It's as simple as that. I don't mean that in like a mean way where it's like, oh, it's so really bad. It's like, heck, dude, I loved Call of Duty growing up. Call of Duty was my main game. I loved every second that I played of it. However, as I got older and as I understood more about the game and how it seemed to be like the same thing over and over and over again, I got so tired of it that I stopped buying it entirely. I stopped playing it. I stopped supporting it with my money. I didn't want it anymore. It just wasn't my game. That doesn't mean that I stopped playing shooters altogether. No. Because I also decided to pick up other games, such as Elden Ring and Inscription, and they piqued my interest, and I didn't really like the original Dark Souls, but I picked them up anyway because I had the money at the time. And guess what? Over 100 hours later, I became the Elden Lord. I am on my second playthrough of Inscription, and I've beaten the first of several challenge modes in Inscription. Both games that I, as a younger kid, would have never played because I was so hyped up on Call of Duty and the FPS genre. Because those types of games are my comfort zone, and Minecraft is your comfort zone. But as I got older, those comfort zones have now shifted. The genre of FPS is still the same, but the games are different. So here's the best advice that I could probably give to you, right? In order for you to not sit there and make an entire video of this, right? As this. Just set the game down, walk away, and pick up a different one. Or just don't play it. Or again, mod the game if you really want to continue playing it. Oh, I shouldn't have to mod it because it should be in the same. Fuck off, okay? Just seriously, fuck off. You make the decisions to play the games that you want to. If you don't want to play a game, you don't have to, unless you're contractually obligated by someone or other to actively play that game because it's like your job or something. But it's not, unless you want it to make it your job, in which case you self-contractually obligate yourself to play the game. But in any case, what I can really only offer you is this advice. Take your own advice and actually go on a true gaming adventure. Set Minecraft aside, don't play it, don't even look at it. Go out, buy a random indie game or buy another video game that you have no idea about or at all, and just play that, okay? That's really all I have to say. I had a lot more to say on this video than anything else, and quite honestly, this is going to be a long one to edit. Holy shit. But with all that being said, my name is GamePenguin21. If you like what it is that I do and want to support me in any way, shape, or form, links down to everything in the description below. I do make music. I do stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/GamePenguin21, and I do have music, again, on the Bandcamp. I am looking to get streaming on Spotify eventually, but probably not. I also have a Patreon, no Discord because I can't moderate for shit, and overall, I don't really have anything else to say other than my name is GamePenguin21, and this has been another episode of me ranting into a microphone about something that seems to have no value to anyone whatsoever except me for some reason. And I thank you so much for watching, and a peace off.